Hey there, I'm Frank Mitchell. On this channel, it's all about helping you understand your car and keeping it running the way it should. Whether it's routine maintenance or solving those tricky problems, I've got you covered. If you find this useful, give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to watch till the end. You might learn something that saves you time and money. All right, let's get started.
Hybrid cars have been confirmed as an interesting purchase option for the coming years. Their ecological facet allows them to obtain advantageous environmental distinctions in Spain, and their price, increasingly accessible, makes them an interesting alternative halfway between electric and combustion. Manufacturers are also betting on this progressive electrification. The European Union sanctions against the brands with the highest emissions are forcing manufacturers to sell as many electrified units as possible, as these help to reduce the average emissions of each company's range. So today we review some of the hybrid models that will arrive in 2020 through brands such as BMW, Renault, and Citroën. Brands that seem ready to try to beat the leader in hybrid sales in Spain, the Toyota Group. Renault Clio E-Tech. The Renault Clio has just received what was promised at its presentation last summer, a conventional hybrid version. By conventional we mean that it is not plug-in, but that it uses a gasoline engine to produce the electric energy it needs to travel. Renault has assured that the development of this new technology, even though they already have a 100% electric vehicle in their range, has meant a significant investment and the acquisition of more than 100 new patents. The French manufacturer assures that they have even resorted to the technologies that its Formula One team has been using in the last few seasons. The hybrid system consists of a small-capacity battery, 1.2 kilowatt-hours, that powers two electric motors, for which no specific data are yet known. The set is accompanied by a 1.6-liter gasoline engine, and the total combined power is 140 horsepower. With this scheme, the Renault Clio E-Tech obtains the ECO label of the DGT and manages to circulate with the thermal engine completely off during specific moments and provided that no more than 75 km/h. The end result is a model that does not exceed 100 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Renault Captur E-Tech PHEV. The Renault Captur, Big Brother and SUV, the Clio also fulfills the promise and incorporates a hybrid version. However, this Captur E-Tech PHEV changes its philosophy as it becomes a plug-in hybrid, and not self-recharging as in the case of the utility. The gasoline engine used is the same 1.6 as in the case of the Clio, but here the battery capacity increases to 9.8 kilowatt-hours, with this model promises autonomy exceeding 50 kilometers in electric mode. As we already know, this implies obtaining the zero label of the DGT. This hybrid system promises average fuel consumption of 1.5 liters per 100 kilometers and speeds of up to 135 kilometers per hour in 100% electric mode. In total, average emissions of 32 grams of CO2 per kilometer. The transmission used has 4 gears and dispenses with the clutch. BMW X1 and X2. The two smallest SUVs of the German manufacturer BMW also receive an electrified version in its range. It is called in both cases xDrive 25e and is a plug-in hybrid system that promises a range in electric mode between 54 and 57 kilometers. The mechanical scheme is common to both models and consists of a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine of 125 horsepower associated with an electric motor of 95 horsepower and 165 Nm. The combined maximum power of both is 220 horsepower and maximum torque of 385 Nm. The battery that powers the electric system is 8.8 kilowatt-hours useful. According to BMW, charging time using a 3.7 kilowatts outlet is just over 3 hours. With this mechanical, BMW SUVs get official consumption figures ranging around 2 liters per 100 kilometers traveled, with emissions of less than 50 grams of CO2 per kilometer. Despite being a set with a clear inclination for savings, meets the dynamic expectations that are associated with the dynamic brand. Productions, Both models manage to accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in less than 7 seconds, a very respectable figure if we consider the declared consumption. Citroën C5 Aircross Hybrid. The largest SUV of the French brand, the Citroën C5 Aircross is encouraged to follow in the footsteps of its brother the Peugeot 3008 and adds to its mechanical offer of plug-in hybrid mechanics, allowing the C5 Aircross obtain the serial label of the DGT. The mechanical set consists of a 180 horsepower PureTech gasoline engine and a 107 horsepower electric one, offering a combined total power of 225 HP and a maximum torque of 320 Nm. Unlike other options, this scheme uses a traditional gearbox by having 8 ratios and a dual clutch system. It is the so-called E8 that can be found in other combustion engines of the same model. The battery is relatively large and has a capacity of 13.2 kWh, which allows a distance in electric mode over 50 km. The maximum speed in electric mode is 130 km per hour, and below 30 km per hour it generates an artificial sound to warn pedestrians of its presence. This battery is located under the trunk floor, which makes you lose 120 liters of storage capacity, leaving us a total of 460 liters. Expandable to 600 L if we move the rear bench to its most forward position. Toyota remains the leading brand in hybrids. Although these are the latest developments in hybrids, we cannot forget that Toyota is still the leading brand in hybrid sales. And when we talk about Toyota, we are not only referring to this brand but to the Toyota Group, which includes the firms Toyota and Lexus. Well, in this sense, Toyota was the brand with the most hybrid sales in 2019. In total, the Toyota Group marketed 89,379 units, of which almost 70,000 were hybrids. This is the figure, therefore, that competing brands will be looking to approach. While we must recognize that it is difficult since Toyota has already been leading the electrification in the automobile for many years, it is also true that there are new competitors arriving and that we must not lose sight of them. In conclusion, if you're in the market for a new car, it's essential to consider the exciting range of hybrids arriving this year. With their impressive fuel efficiency, reduced emissions, and advanced technology, hybrids offer a compelling alternative to traditional vehicles. As you explore your options, keep in mind the long-term savings and environmental benefits that come with choosing a hybrid. Take the time to test drive and research the models that catch your eye, and you may find the perfect car that meets both your needs and values. Happy car hunting!